Mama Joyce might be one of the most misunderstood narrators in reality TV history, and today we're reading her like a book. Welcome to my show, Read Her Like a Book, where we read and then we read. This is a podcast where I connect the media we see on our screens with the words we see on a page to bridge the gap and encourage more people to think critically about the media they're consuming. Before we get into today's case study, I just wanted to introduce myself. You guys can call me Wadi. I am 28 years old. I live in New York City. I'm Nigerian. I love reading. I love writing. I love being creative. My goal is to get more people to read post grad. I find that growing up, middle school, high school, everyone's reading, and then once we graduate and no one's forcing you to read, it's curtains. I really enjoy reading literary fiction. I consider this genre the nosy genre because it's not centered around romance or thriller or crime. It just focuses on people's lives. But without further ado, let's get into the pages. Today's first episode is going to be about unreliable narrators. So, what is an unreliable narrator? An unreliable narrator is a narrator whose credibility is compromised. It may be compromised because they have their own bias, they may have mental illness, they may not know all the information. And an unreliable narrator in a story always comes at a shock because whenever you open up a book, the narrator is your guide, it's your co pilot. So when you learn that they've been lying, or maybe they don't have all the facts, you feel so lost and you feel so confused. And everything they say after, once you realize, oh, they're unreliable, it's so hard to trust. An unreliable narrator in literature makes you actively engage as a reader. And a really good example of this is in Gone Girl. I just finished Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. It was a great book. The movie was fire. The book was even better. And in this book, it flips perspectives between a wife and a husband. And just by my own biases, I'm like, okay, everything the wife says is right. Okay. But as we learn in the story, the wife is like, oh, my husband, like, I think he wants to kill me. My husband's crazy. Everybody hates me, yada, yada, yada. Turns out she's actually the crazy one. And I was so shook by this. And then I think we learned maybe like 200 pages in that she was the crazy one. The book was 500 pages. So every single thing she said after that, I was like, can't trust it. Can't trust it. And it honestly shook me to my core because I am so quick to rely on a narrator. So once the narrator was unreliable, pack it up, hang it up, flat screen. I can't trust you anymore. And a key distinction with an unreliable narrator is that they don't lose their voice, they just lose our trust, which rolls into the media we see today. The Michigan head football coach, former, heavy on the former, Sherrone Moore. His story is a quintessential case study of becoming an unreliable narrator. Sherrone Moore was the head football coach of Michigan, and I didn't really know much about him. I knew Michigan is a really popular football program, but for the most part, I just know, he was black and he coached football and he was young. So we were all rooting for him. We trusted him. Whatever he said, we're trying to get this program back up, rooting for everybody. We were like, okay, cool. And then we learned that he's been creeping on the low. He has been doing some crazy stuff. And once we start learning the things he's doing, specifically things that go to question his character, we stop trusting him. A, he was cheating on his wife. B, he was cheating with a subordinate, which calls into question your judgment. C, he was DMing college kids. How are you a college football coach and you DMing students? That's crazy to me. And then D, worst of all, he broke into and entered the subordinate's house and threatened to unalive her. And my sister asked me, she said, is it breaking and entering if her door was open? Yes. If you are an unwelcomed guest, it doesn't matter if the windows open, doors unlocked. Once you enter the threshold without permission, that is breaking and entering. Once we learn all the insane things he starts doing, we no longer trust him. Instead of being the narrator who's guiding us, we put him in the unreliable narrator section and we start questioning everything. We start looking at him and we're like, dude, you're cheating on your wife, you're DMing these students, you're sleeping with a subordinate, and then you increased her pay. It doesn't even matter what he says now. The court of public opinion, we don't trust you. We don't like you and we don't trust you. Even if he comes out and he's like, oh my gosh, I've been dealing with so many things. I had mental illness, I wasn't in my right mind when I broke into her apartment. We don't even care because we don't trust you anymore because you were unreliable. And that's the thing about unreliable narrators. They don't lose their voice. They just lose their credibility. So now we look at him and it's like, dog, I don't care what you say. You could go out and have the most remorseful statement. You could come out and donate to college funds, and you could go out and apologize, go on this crazy apology tour. We don't care. We don't believe you. We don't trust you. Curtains. And now let's juxtapose that with Mama Joyce because she was right the whole time. So, Mama Joyce is Candy's mom. Candy is a member of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Mama Joyce, she was introduced to us as just being a hater. So Candy was dating this man at the time, rest in peace, AJ, and he had a lot of kids. And Candy's mom did not like her being with AJ. He was like, he's not providing. He doesn't have any money. He's eating, sleeping on you.
He ain't giving you a dime. He's sleeping in on you.
And she did not like her fiance. So as a watcher, we see, oh, she's a mom. Okay, she wants the best for her daughter. But quickly we realize, oh, like, we don't really like her. We don't really like her. So, because we didn't like her, we put her in the category of unreliable. And of course, when you're unreliable, we don't trust you. So, when Candy starts dating Todd in late season 4, season 5, Candy's mom, of course, gets on the same little train of, he's just trying to like take your money from you. She called Todd an opportunist, a hundredaire. She said he wasn't providing. But because we don't like her, we're like, okay, Mama Joyce, you just hating. You just are just too involved. Like, you can't see that Todd is a great guy. And so whenever Todd and Candy get serious and they get engaged, the mom is so concerned about the prenup because we know Candy is a millionaire, big M's, not the little. And so she's like, you guys need to get a good prenup. He just wants you for your money. And she's like, Mom, like, he doesn't want me for my money. He would never contest the prenup. Like, he just loves me. Like, can't you just believe that? And as a watcher, we're so frustrated because we're like, Mama Joyce, like, can't you believe that, Candy has a good man that doesn't want her money? Like, again, we don't like her, so we put her in the unreliable category. Candy and Todd get married. They get a prenup, thank God. Fast forward 12 years, they're getting a divorce. And what is Todd doing? Contesting the prenup. And it's unfortunate, but him contesting the prenup vindicates Mama Joyce. Todd is contesting the prenup, saying he signed it under duress. And duress means that you're not in your right mind. You weren't thinking clearly. A really good example is if someone's holding you at gunpoint. If someone's holding you at gunpoint and they say, push that old woman, even if you don't want to do it, you're going to do it because you're under duress. You're stressed out. Your brain's not working clearly. Your heart rate's pumping. Your adrenaline is going crazy. So he is contesting the prenup on those grounds. And if he is successful in contesting this prenup, it's going to get thrown out and he's going to get half. And we all know that Candy's half and Todd's half are vastly different. So finding out 13 years later that she was right the whole time, that is a hard pill to swallow. And as the watcher, we didn't want to believe Mama Joyce. We didn't want to trust her that Todd was after her money because A, we liked Todd, and B, we did not like her. But the thing is, Mama Joyce didn't lie about Todd. She was 100% correct about the kind of man he was. And what's so unfortunate is that her fear and anxiety was coming from a place of love and protection, but the audience dismissed her because we didn't like her. Credibility isn't only about truth, it's about perception. How we view you is how we judge everything that comes out of your mouth. If we like you, we trust you. If you don't, curtains. I have 2 PSAs to close out this episode. 1, we need to stop confusing unlikable with unreliable. And 2, if a woman is emotional, we call her biased. If a woman is calm, we call her calculated. Either way, we can't win. That's all for episode 1 of Read Her Like a Book. Next week, we'll be reading Another Woman in the Media. Until then, I'll see you on the next page. Bye.